What an interesting time it is to be a WWE fan. I mean, we're going to get into it. We're going to deep dive into those segments as we do here on Ups and Downs. But if you had told me in January 2018 that by December of that year, Vince McMahon was going to be coming out in front of a live crowd and going, whoops, I would have called you a damn liar. And as I now know, I would have been absolutely wrong. But yeah, there's a little teaser for you. If you haven't watched last night's Raw, that is exactly what happened. So let's cut the intro short. Let's get on with it. My name is Simon Miller. This is WhatCulture Wrestling. You're watching Ups and Downs for Raw. Let's up those downs. Weird downs and weird ups all round. The start of Raw was so bizarre, as I've already alluded to, and I would implore you all to go and watch it just so you can feel your jaws get all loose and then slam into the floor because you can't believe what you're seeing. But Vince McMahon came out, Stephanie McMahon came out, Shane McMahon came out, and Triple H, and they all got huge reactions, by the way, and they put their hands up, I'm doing it again, and said, we've screwed up. It's time to make amends. New matches, new superstars, new everything, and we're gonna hit the creative reset button, which somebody did a why video about the other day. It's almost like I knew. And look, if they do live up to all of this, if they do give us what they've promised, it's got to get an up, but we're not stupid. We're going to wait and see. I mean, we did have 4 people that have been in authority roles for the last 20 years telling us this, so, you know, got to sprinkle some salt over that. But look, everyone give them the benefit of the doubt. Let's all be positive. They ain't going to make any changes till 2019. Why would you? It's Christmas time and everybody's going to be off being all festive and merry like, woohoo, here comes Santa. The key is we don't just need to hear about these, we need to see them. So again, I'm going to wait till January and I'm going to wait to see exactly what it is that WWE does. And I do understand that. I get it. Next week, less people are going to watch anyway because it is the 25th of December. And if I run a business and I've got some shiny diamond, I know, oh, if I showcase this diamond, everybody's going to want to come and see it. I won't put it on display until January, whence all the holly jolly, mistletoe, wreath, whatever you want to describe Christmas as, is said and done. That just makes sense. So again, benefit of the doubt from me. Let's see what happens. Hilariously then, Baron Corbin interrupted and he got booed so loudly, a small part of me was like, well, WWE did their job. He kind of feels like the most over heel in the company. I mean, he got jeered for a long time. As you can imagine, the former GM was mad that he got jumped by a bunch of babyfaces at TLC, said it wasn't fair, and wanted one last chance to become the permanent general manager. And that made no sense because his chance came at the pay-per-view and he failed. Anyway, he is going to get it. And you already know where this is going to go. All he's got to do is beat his mystery opponent, and he's got to do that right now. And then very amusingly, it was Kurt Angle. Now the issue with that was the last time I saw the Olympic gold medalist, I was told his story was he was past it, he was a veteran that had lost his skill, and Drew McIntyre was picking his bones. And now all of a sudden, I think he's meant to be a threat again. Anyway, we are hitting the reset button, as we've said, so benefit of the doubt. Give that a hashtag. Before long, it had turned into a handicap match, and Heath Slater was a special referee. So on paper, it was bad guy Baron Corbin going against good guys Kurt Angle, Heath Slater, Bobby Roode, Chad Gable, and Apollo Crews. Eventually, it was also made a no DQ match, so they all just whipped Baron Corbin with chairs until they got the pin, and that's it. We're done. The Baron Corbin experiment in terms of him being general manager is over, and I would imagine, given everything that was said, we're never gonna see that again. It'd be easy to sit back and say that all of this was nuts too, but look, the fans loved it. They were going crazy, so you can't argue that it wasn't over. And look, again, Vince McMahon had said he is going to start listening to the fans. That's a new direction. We're the authority now, and he'll hear us, and he'll do whatever he can to appease us. The fact that the audience was chanting for tables, and then all the babyfaces went and got a table and threw him through it, well, that's 1 for 1. Oh, you know, maybe this is a dawn of a new era, or maybe we're going to get to sort of April, May next year and go, oh my gosh, it's Baron Corbin versus Finn Bálor again. If that does happen, you can tweet me or leave a comment and go, Simon, you're a moron. Why did you believe their lies? But at the moment, I believe their lies. It's a paradox. If you don't know it's a lie, let's move on. All of that can get an up though, as well as Dolph Ziggler versus Finn Bálor, because they were going to have a match following all of this. Now, it breaks my heart. It makes me want to cry tears from my eyeballs because the tag team of Dolphin is dying before it even began. Whatever, this was pretty good. Like I said. And yeah, before anybody says anything, this could have been a match for any episode of Raw, but please remember what I said. Let's give them time. Look, we wanted this, we've now got it, so let's not be negative Nancy's And let's be positive Pete's. It was pretty much as everybody would have predicted though, a very athletic contest. Ziggler and Finn Bálor are very good. Eventually Drew McIntyre came out, he caused the DQ, and McIntyre was standing tall at the end of the segment because he Claymore kicked them both in the face. But there were some cool spots here. Finn Bálor took out everybody with one of his dives and it looked badass, and then Dolph Ziggler hit a near fall with a zigzag that got me. I went, thought he was going to win. We're going to have a triple threat match between them all on next week's episode of Raw, and I was alright with this. Yeah, it's nothing different yet. It's in the air. It's coming. Terrified of diseases, a new Intercontinental Champion Dean Ambrose out next. You can get him. He did come out with his gas mask and riot police, but I'm going to ignore all of that and focus on the promo because he cut it damn well. I believed every single word that he said, and he sounded all vitriolic, and he sounded really pissed off. Plus, he made a very good point. He wants to take everything from Seth Rollins, and so far he's doing a good job because a few weeks ago, Rollins was a two-time champion. Now he ain't got any belts. Also, in case you're interested, it seems as if the plan is now to have Renee Young as a heel every time Dean Ambrose is out there. It was awkward and horrible. That gets it down. Ambrose called out Seth so he could finish him off, but the man who likes to burn things down didn't show. So Dean Ambrose changed everything, all right? I'll take a page from your book, and I'm going to do an IC Open challenge right now. And can you believe it? Guess who answered said challenge? It was Repo Man. No, it wasn't. If only it was. Then I believe in this new change. I will champion the new change. It's Tyler Breeze. I see what WWE was doing here because this was part of getting superstars back onto TV. But given that Ambrose just whooped his ass and beat him, well, I think we may have missed the mark a bit. But with that said, Tyler got some of his shine spots in. He looked pretty good, and there was even a near fall that I bit into just a little bit, and also it put over the Dirty Deeds as a badass finisher, and I ain't got no problems with that. As soon as Ambrose had hit it, 1, 2, 3, that was it, and it kind of came out of nowhere, like an RKO. The fallout was pretty good too. Ambrose ranted about Seth for a little bit, and then Rollins appeared from nowhere because he was actually in one of the gas mask costumes. That's right, he had duped his old best friend, and he was actually out there the whole time. Now, when you take a step back and remove the context, that's really weird because it means Seth Rollins stood out there for a Dean Ambrose promo and a Dean Ambrose match and only decided to attack. After all of that, you could use your time better, Seth, but it worked. You got a good pop. I kind of enjoyed it too. And if I enjoy something, the finger goes up, the counter goes up, it gets it up. An interesting part was Shane McMahon. Next, after Drake Maverick and AOP had demanded they got their title rematch, because you know, everybody gets a title rematch when they lose the belts, Shane said, well, I think that system's a bit antiquated now, so if you want to go out there and get your belts back, you've got to earn it. And does that mean that automatic title rematches are gone? I don't know, that could always change, but up. As it is all about proving himself, now we're going to have a match later to see who becomes #1 contenders for the Tag Team Championships. It's going to be the AOP, it's going to be the B Team, it's going to be the Lucha House Party, and it's going to be the Revival. Another up as we double down on new superstars who are about to head to the main roster. Lars Sullivan is coming up, Lacey Evans, Nikki Cross, and EC3, and we even got video packages for all of them. On top of that, Heavy Machinery are gonna wander up as well. Of course I get it up. It got me buzzed, and there was loads of people on social media going, oh no, they've ruined their surprise. We don't need surprises right now. We need cold hard facts. These are cold hard facts. If we fit them in the right places, it's gonna make everything better. If we are switching things up though, we probably wanna try and end the Bobby Lashley and Elias feud as quickly as possible. This is getting it down. The short version was that Lio Rush and Bobby Lashley were mucking Elias' usual in-ring segments until Lio Rush stopped that and told Bobby Lashley to moon us. Again, we're trying to enter a new space here. WWE, please look at Bobby Lashley, realize what you have, and then realize on top of that, we don't need to see the man sticking his ass in our face. Doesn't do anything for anybody. Eventually, Elias used his magic powers that we'd never been told about to just appear behind these two, and he whooped their ass with a guitar, and I forgot all about that instantly because we got a returning video package for Sami Zayn, and my word, do I need him back in my life. And then later on, we got the same thing for Kevin Owens, and my word, do I need him back in my life as well. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn returning soon, that gets it up. Tag Team #1 Contenders match followed, and can you believe it? Oh, what are we gonna do? The Lucha House Party rules have been killed. Well, that's the end of my life. although it's not. And also, I just want to point out this as well. This wasn't the best thing I've ever seen in my life and the crowd didn't care, but that doesn't mean we give up, WWE. You've got to give it time so the tag team division can crawl back to where it needs to be. That said, up. And it mostly isn't up because the Revival won, but again, this is not enough. Now WWE allow things to plod along over the next few weeks and months, and you'll find that you've got a damn good tag team in Dash and Dawson, and they did indeed pick up the victory after hitting the Shatter Machine on Bo Dallas. Seth Rollins cut a promo afterwards and we went back into weirdo land because he openly admitted that he'd heard the crowd at TLC were booing him and calling him boring, and he didn't like it and he had to try and make it up to them. Well, Seth Rollins, didn't listen to me, did ya? Because I said here on Ups and Downs, I didn't think it was bad as everybody else was saying. So you just ignored me, do you? Don't care. Don't care about little old Miller. Well, I've got powers and the powers lie in my fingers, so you're getting it down. Not really. This was all right. Up. Also got into it with Baron Corbin, who now blames Seth for everything that's happened. So Rollins punched him in the face, as good guys always do. They're going to have a match next week on Raw as well. This new regime thing then, admittedly, hit the wall. Down. It started off all right with Ronda Rousey cutting a pretty decent promo saying that at TLC she had done everything she promised she would do, and that was get revenge on Nia Jax, Charlotte, and Becky Lynch. Also told us she didn't need to explain herself, but Ronda, you absolutely do. WWE and Raw is a story-driven product, so if you don't give me the explanations that I need, I don't know what their motivations were. Now, you were all right in this sense, because the story actually works this time, so you can figure it out for yourself, like, Charlotte did this to Ronda, and then Becky Lynch did this, and Nia, well, she's got a big fist. But otherwise, yeah, explain yourself. I can't stand that anymore in WWE. I'm not explaining myself to you. Well, if you could, I'd really appreciate it. I need the context. Also said she wanted to start a new tradition that the night after a pay-per-view, no matter what condition the champion was in, she still has to defend her title. And then kablamo! There it was. That wall I just talked about. We cut to the back where 8 women were just screaming at producers because they wanted this shot, and it's much like when Nia Jax peeks the microphone. Shrieking on television never works. Then Stephanie McMahon appeared. She just dragged them all out onto the aisle and went, wah! We're going to have an 8-woman gauntlet match and the winner will become the #1 contender and take on Ronda Rousey next week. A lot of next weeks on this week's Raw, which actually is good because I don't usually do that. At least now you know what to tune in for. This honestly could have been an authority segment for 5 years ago, other than the fact that Stephanie McMahon was playing it far more balanced. And I just didn't want to see an hour-long gauntlet match, which is what this was, in my final hour of Raw, especially when I thought the start was quite exciting. I felt like the end needed to have a bang or something to go, oh my gosh. We didn't get that. Again, just had a 60-minute long or thereabouts 8-women gauntlet match. The long story short is Natalya won after beating Sasha Banks in the final, but you also saw the likes of Bayley and Dana Brooke, and Mickie James was in there, and Ruby Riott, Ember Moon, and Alicia Fox. And yeah, afterwards the 2 best friends, that being Ronda Rousey and Natalya, they shook hands, but Ronda also looked like she was about to murder the Heart. And it was good that we featured the women so prominently, but it just meant Raw ended like, when Raw should have ended like, But remember, we've got to give this time. I know I've said that a lot and you're rolling your eyes going, Simon, shut up, but it's true. We get to like mid-January, mid to late January. If everything feels the same and the format hasn't changed, then we will address it, probably in a wide video, as well as here on Ups and Downs. But I felt this was good. I felt like it was a transcendent episode of Raw, and hopefully something we can look back on in a few months' time and then, oh, that was the catalyst. That was the catalyst for change, and we've been asking for change. At least they've acknowledged the change. Baby steps. We're on step 1. Now, don't forget to leave a comment below and let us know what you thought about last night's episode of Raw. Like, share, and subscribe. Head over to WhatCulture.com, read yourself some articles, follow WhatCulture on Twitter, WhatCulture WWE, and go and watch more WhatCulture wrestling videos, because YouTube is all there is. My name is Simon from WhatCulture. Thank you very much for watching, and for those asking, yes, we up those downs for SmackDown tomorrow, and the train doesn't stop. That's never stopped, it just keeps going and smashes through the walls. So next Tuesday and Wednesday, Christmas Day and Boxing Day, you bet your ass I'll be here up in those downs for Christmas and Boxing Day Raws and SmackDowns. Come on, I'll see you soon.